The controversy around when to take Social Security. This actually kind of drives me crazy because I think a lot of people have like almost like vested interest in you should take it early, you should take it later, all that stuff. And I frankly don't get it. Especially because we don't know what the net result's going to be. We don't know when you're going to die. We simply don't. And because of that, we don't know if it's a good idea to take it earlier or later. We just don't know. Part two of this, we don't know your family dynamics. We, being the general audience. You do, I don't. I don't know if your wife, if you're married, if your wife is significantly younger, older than you, if she has health that's better or worse than you. We don't know if you have young kids. We don't know what kind of portfolio you got. We don't know anything. We just know from a numbers perspective, that's all we know. And that's what we're going to run over here today. So what me and the PVC pipe of knowledge I've come up with is just a simple present value, net present value of when to take not when to take Social Security, net present value of your future Social Security payments, if that makes sense. I'll go with this. So we got a guy who looked at a Social Security statement. He says at his full retirement age, when he's 67, I said he, how dare I? know we're supposed to say he or she or they. No, we're saying he because we're traditional scholars. We use the male, what is it called? The masculine here at Heritage Wealth Planning. I'm so offended by that. No, it's he or she or they or she or blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so we got a guy who's like, all right, he just got a Social Security statement. He says at his full retirement age, his PIA, primary insurance amount, the PIA is the amount you get at your full retirement age. In this case, is 67 years old, is $3,000 a month. All right. If he waits until he's 70, because of delayed earnings credits, his primary insurance amount doesn't change, but he'll be getting delayed earnings credits of an extra 24%. So it'll be roughly $3,700 a month. If he took it early at 62, his PIA is still $3,000, but will be reduced by 32%, so he'll get $2,000 a month. Now here's what a lot of people overlook. This decision isn't made here or here. The decision is made here. When to take Social Security. That's when the decision is made. And I hate to say it, but if you're still working, you don't take it here because you're going to be reduced because of earnings test. And by the way, you'll get that money back over the rest of your life expectancy when you hit full retirement age. I'm not getting that here. But you'll be permanently reduced because you took it early. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, your PIA could change, could go up, because you're still working. You're still adding numbers into your benefit base. Remember, Social Security takes the top 35 years of indexed earnings. Usually people who are 62 are making more money than they did when they're 32, which means they're adding bigger benefit base because they're using a higher income to replace lower incomes because they only take your top 35 years. So you're sitting here right now at 62 is when you got to make the decision. You're like, I'm going to take it early. I say, well, you're still working. Yeah, I know. You're going to get reduced because of earnings test. Well, I'll get that money back. Oh, yeah, but you're not going to get back one fell swoop. You'll get it back and amortize over the rest of your life expectancy once you hit your full retirement age. On top of that, you're being permanently reduced because you took it early. On top of that, you're also not concluding the fact that your PIA could grow because you're still contributing to Social Security if you're still working. Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he doesn't, man. So we got a guy here. He's like, so again, you don't make the decision to take Social Security here. You have to make the decision at 62. What is your lot in life at 62? If you're still working, I just frankly don't understand it. Unless you're going, broke and you're only going to live to your 20 more minutes. That's fine. Anyway, so we're getting a 2.4% is our interest that we're getting on Social Security. All right, that's what we're using from the SSA. They're COLAs. They're expected COLAs over the next 75 years. So we're giving you a 2.4% rate of return, increase in Social Security benefits. So here a guy who's going to live until he's 85 years old. All right, so he's got 23 years at 62 of making $2,000 a month because that has been reduced by the $3,000 a month because of you're taking it early. So he'll get 23 years of monthly payments for $2,000 a month. All right. If we do a present value calculation, we just basically say payments $2,000 a month, future value is 0, N is whatever 23 times 12 is, whatever that is, how many months he's getting that paid, and I, interest rate 2.4, his net present value is $423,000. He would need a lump sum today of $423,000 to pay him $2,000 a month with a 2.4% cost of living adjustment for 23 years over 12 months. But if he says, well, I'm going to wait until I'm 67, my full retirement age, that net present value grows to $525,000. But this is where it gets, people forget. If he's still working, this PIA could grow. Now, it would grow over here too, mind you, but it could grow even more here, which means the net present value would be even bigger on this side than there. Because you have to make the decision at 62. Are you still working? Yeah. Anyway, so here, if he lives until he's 85, his net present value is significantly higher than if he took at 62, but that doesn't include the fact he still has labor earnings potentially, which would increase his PIA. Secondly, if he lives to 70, no, not 70, if he lives to 85, he's got 15 years of $3,700 a month. All right, 2.4% is still the COLA. So if that's 180 payments at $370 a month, which is a $558,000 net present value. Everybody with me on this so far? So again, he has to make the decision here, not here, not here. And if he doesn't make the decision here at 63, you have to make the decision at 64, 65, 66. So this is when you're making the initial decision, and it could affect your future PIA and all this stuff. Now again, your PIA can still increase. I don't deny that. But the facts are the increases are bigger here and even bigger here because the PIA is already at a bigger amount. It's already significantly higher than that, which means every increase gives you more bang for your buck on a dollar perspective. Now, let me show you what happens. Again, this assumes he lives till 85. Let me pause it. Let me write these other numbers out. If he lives till he's 80, so he has 18 years of $2,000 a month, 12 months, 18 times 12, I don't know what that is. I did in my calculator. But anyway, 18 years at $2,000 a month, he'll have $350,000 is his net present value. He would need a lump sum of $350,000 to give him 18 years at $2,000 a month with a 2.4% COLA. If he took it as FRA, he'd get $401,000, and if he took it as 70, he'd get $394,000. Because here, he only have 10 years. He dies at 80, he starts at 70, he only has 10 years at $3,700 a month. So in this case, if he's going to die at 80, in this case, the FRA is a better time. Whereas in this case, the longer he lives, the more beneficial it would be to take it later. If he only lives till he's 75, here he's got 13 years at $2,000 a month, and his net present value would be $267. Here's $261, here's $209. So it's really contingent on how long you expect to live. Do you really think you're going to die at 75? Do you really think that? If you do, you should take it early, without question. If you're single, a lot of times they say take it early too, because the part two of this now is that you'll see that even here, you have more money, net present value, than at your full, this is at 70, at your full retirement age, than even at you do here. Significantly more than here. But the problem is, when do you actually see that increase in money? Well, it's not until you're mid to mid 80s or something like that. Does that make sense? So you're not actually seeing the benefit of increasing your Social Security until you're in your low to mid 80s. So you're like, that extra $1,000 a month, that's great. But now I'm 83 years old. I got a freaking diaper on. I mean, and again, there's plenty of 83-year-old people out there crushing, but you get what I'm being facetious, but still. That's the drawback about waiting, is that you don't actually see the extra money until you're older, and a lot of times you're like, I don't want to do that much with it. But if the worry is I'm worried about running out of money, then taking Social Security later inherently is the way to go, because it's significantly higher than even at your full retirement age or at 62. Now again, many people die well before they hit 85. That's just a fact. Some people die before they hit 80. So if look at here. The difference between, if you think you're only going to live to 80, you might as well just take it here. Full retirement age. Because the difference between taking with delayed earning credits and full retirement age isn't much. Even here, if you think you're only going to live to 80, literally, if you think you're only going to live to 80, I'd probably say take it at 62. Depending on if you're still working, if you got a wife and all that stuff. Anyway, it shouldn't be that controversial. It should be just, what is your life expectancy? I had a guy, a trucker. They emailed me the other day, and he's like, I think he's single. He's like, he's been in the cabin 27 years or something like that. He's got massively high diabetes. He's way overweight. He's just, health-wise, he's a mess. I said, dude, we'll call him Rusty. I said, Rusty, you got to get out of that cabin and start walking, dude. You're going to kill yourself. and he's just on all kinds of statins and all that stuff. I said, it's time to leave work. And he probably should take Social Security early, 100%. Again, though, if you're still working, I don't think so. But all right. Anyway, so there's some thought process. Your net present value, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on that. And I get it. I mean, again, the difference between 558 that's taken at 70, if you live till 85, and 423, if you live to 85 and you took at 62, is significant. There's no other way around that. But there's another side of the story. Are you really going to live to your 85? Are you only going to see that benefit when you're 83 years old, 84 years old, 85 years old? Are you still working right now? Do you have a wife and kids, a young kid, all that stuff? A lot more to meets the eye that you have to think about. So don't let these people like, you idiot, taking Social Security later. They're going to take it from you. The legal immigrants are getting it. This is going to go bankrupt. I got a Vice script. Of course, if I did like that in my head, my brains would pop out. But there's no brain in there. It's just a lump of coal, Josh. Just a lump of coal. All right, God bless. We'll see you. Love your thoughts.